Hey, and welcome back to a new Park Forgotten Disney. Oh wait, it's not. Guess what? We have another remake! And in this episode, we will be looking at one of the lost ghosts from the haunted mansion.
Whenever you go in the Haunted Mansion, you usually find some series regulars. The Bride, the Singing Busts, Madame Leota, a piano guy, that other piano guy. Some have a third piano guy. I don't know, maybe pianos are scary. Anyways, a long time ago, before you were born, probably, there was another ghost, who was the Haunted Mansion's most famous legend. He was named the Hatbox Ghost. The Hatbox Ghost was, well, a ghost, originally to stay in the attic scene of Disneyland's version of the Haunted Mansion, near the right exit of the attic scene. And it was to be placed in Disney World's attic scene, somewhere. Old Hattie was designed by Mark Davis, and its primary effect was made by Yale Gracie, who also did the other Haunted Mansion effects. Speaking of which, Hatbox Ghost's primary effect was to make it look like his head was disappearing from his body and moving to his hatbox. And then back again. This was caused with black light shining on the head at first, then other lights in the hatbox shining on, revealing a head, while the other lights shut off, to create the illusion of movement. Another effect that he had was that he shaked, rattled, and rolled his cane. Nothing major. Actually, as you see, he has a really simple animatronic skeleton. But the really interesting part is the actual legend. When Disneyland's Haunted Mansion opened on August 9th, 1969, there was a ton of promotional material, like billboards, keys, ice cream posters, and a story record. In the front cover, there is a ghost that heavily resembles Hattie. And the Hatbox Ghost is even mentioned by the narrator in the little booklet, with him saying,
"And as they turned to run out of the door, another ghostly manifestation appeared and blocked their way. He was a cloaked figure with an evil, grinning face. A hatbox hung from his hand. With each beat of his bride's heart, his head disappeared from his body and appeared in the hatbox."
There was also a souvenir record for the kiddies, with an 11-page booklet, with the ghost on one of the pages. It read, with the record playing,
"I turned to run out of the attic, but another image blocked my way. He was a large, cloaked figure whose head disappeared from his shoulders and appeared in a hatbox he held in his hand."
Lastly, there were some promotional images of Hattie with its creator, Yale Gracie. But these were only prototypes, and not the actual one used in the ride. So, he was definitely a big deal for a month-ish. Out of nowhere, the Hatbox Ghost disappeared, never to be heard of for a long time. And a space was replaced by a phantom piano player, who was reminiscent of old Hattie himself. Other weird places that he would appear would be as photos in the Disney World and Disneyland version of the Haunted Mansion, in the purple hallway. And there is a photo currently circulating, that is currently also shown, that sees the face of the organist being the Hatbox Ghost. But when others and I look at the face, it doesn't quite look like it. But hey, you never know. It was originally thought that Hattie was taken out because of how scary he was, and parents complained. But that was not the case. It was actually that his effect couldn't work up close, with people seeing both heads easily. He was famed Imagineer, Tony Baxter, to talk more about Hattie.
Even more convoluted, because in this very spot, when Disneyland opened, was a notorious Hatbox Ghost. And if you look at some of the publicity around that time, you'll see the great effects designer Yale Gracie posing with this ghost. And the way he stood was about like this, and he was kind of a mean guy. And his head disappeared and then appeared in a box that was for holding hats here. So this head came on, and then this one went away. And evidently when they ran this at WDI or WED at the time, it worked great in a controlled room, but here inside of a ride where guests go by and see it from all different angles, evidently the illusion didn't meet expectations. Plus it was really kind of grisly. And so as a ride operator, I was given an opportunity to ride the ride about a week before opening. We were able to go around for 2 hours. And each time we'd get into the seance area, we'd yell across to other friends saying, "Did you see that? Next time look for this," and so forth. And I remember distinctly this is where it was. But before the ride opened, that figure was gone. And nobody knows the whereabouts. None of the molds exist. None of the characters exist. It completely vanished. So the whereabouts of the Hatbox Ghost is to this day a mystery. But I can attest to the fact that I saw it in this very spot originally.
Also, recently, people have tried searching for the original ghost, but he could not be found. One reason was that he was used to make Sam the Eagle. Not that one! Thank you. For America Sings. But due to his not really having that much in his animatronic skeleton, this theory is very unlikely. So, he was gone and lost until pretty recently, where his legend has grown tremendously. After becoming a big Doombug fan, it was time for his rising. In 2005, the first merchandise of him since the 60s appeared. It was a big figure of him that was designed by Kevin Kidney and Joe Daly, who also designed another Hatbox Ghost big fig for D23 in 2009, which was auctioned off for around $9,400. Then appeared a number of tombstones. Then, in 2009, he was the official spokesperson of Disneyland's open house event, where he had pins, and pins, and pins, and pins, and pins, and pins, and violations. And pins! And with those pins and toys, there were websites upon websites about him. Heck, he has a Twitter and Facebook account. Somehow. Then, in 2010, during Comic-Con, famed director Guillermo del Toro announced that he would write and direct a new Haunted Mansion film, which would be a family horror that starred the Hatbox Ghost. Nothing has been heard of him until recently, where he said that he wanted to find the perfect blend, script, and of course, Hatbox Ghost for the film. He also says models will model after Doug Jones, hinting that he may be the Hatbox Ghost. In 2012, Josh Dawes and Jeremiah Dawes wrote, produced, and directed Missing in the Mansion, which was about a couple that got engaged in Disneyland, but then when they went in the Haunted Mansion, some spooky things started happening. And by spooky, I mean the Hatbox Ghost literally takes them off their vehicle and either kills them, ascends them into the ghostly dimension, or makes them as forgotten as he is. It is a really good and pretty scary and intense short, and I highly recommend it, and its spiritual successor, Follow from the Mansion. Then, in September, Mike's Chat member Dusty Shades reported that Hattie will return, saying that he obtained it from an Imagineer conversation at D23's Destination D, Disneyland 55 event. In 2013, Disney released a limited edition Hatbox Ghost shirt with an 11-page booklet design from the 60s. Also, in August of 2013, he appeared officially to the public as a new audio animatronic, though he was standing straight and tall and didn't have a hatbox and his head didn't disappear. And it wasn't part of the actual attraction. Lastly, in 2009, a photo surfaced showing that he was in fact in the ride. And in 2011, Disney History Institute looked through old home videos and found actual footage of Hattie in the ride, in the metal flesh. Over these many years, people have loved and cared for the ghost, with petitions to get him back in, to trying to find him, to just creating their own statue or costume. Everyone who that ghost comes across falls in love with him. And whether he is put back in or not, he will always be fun, scary, different, popular, and one of the biggest, if not the best, Disney park legends.